Hi guys! So as you can see, I am home sweet home after a 3-week epic trip around, well, Canada, Rome, and England. Not really around the world, but a few places, and I'm so grateful. One of the joys of traveling is coming home and the comforts, and my kitty, which you can't see, which is, running around here, and the other kitty is somewhere. I think he's after a mouse or something in the woodshed. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about awareness. This comes up in my classes so often because depending on what you've maybe studied before, if you've listened to my radio shows or whatever you've heard about awareness, you'll often try to look for your awareness in light and heavy, because that's what we often talk about in Access Consciousness, is the light and the heavy. Light is yes, heavy is no. It's pretty simple, except that probably 80% of the people that come to my classes or have sessions with me or do any of the other stuff that I do don't actually read their awareness as light and heavy. So then what happens is they get really confused and frustrated with themselves. So what I want to say to those of you who don't have a clear light and heavy, you're not alone. You're very normal. Well, that might be... Anyway, so for a lot of people, their awareness is through their infinite knowing, not the perceiving, not where there's light and heavy, but an actual knowing. And the thing is that if you were, let's say, in a class of mine and I was facilitating you and I said to you, so truth will, choosing to sell your car today, create the future you desire. And then you'd go looking for the light or the heavy in response to that. The thing is that if you're a knower, if you're a know-it-all, you knew your awareness before I even finished the question. So this is where it becomes a bit of a pickle, because you're now trying to look for the light and the heavy. So you're already slowing yourself way down to get light and heavy. But you're a knower, if you are. I may not be speaking to all of you, so know for you. And by light and heavy, it means, like, here's an example. So close your eyes as long as it's safe to do so. Truth. Your body likes to drink paint thinner. Truth, your body likes to drink water. So a perceiver would get the contraction about paint thinner, of course, and no matter what, even if you got expanded on that, do not drink paint thinner. And knower would be annoyed with the question because, one, it's stupid, because they know the answer. And of course I use that question, or those two questions, all the time to give people a sense of their light and heavy for those who get light and heavy. But if you are an infinite knower, you will be annoyed with me. So please know, if you are a knower, you know. It's about then trusting your knowing and trusting that you know and you know and you know. So what you can do in situations where you're not getting clarity or you feel like you're kind of chasing your tail looking for light and heavy is just ask, what do I know here that I'm pretending not to know? Just make it really simple, because you already know as an infinite knower. And I mean, I'm kind of making these things separate, and I don't mean it to be, but it's the best way to describe it. We all have infinite knowing and we all have infinite perceiving, and our awareness shows up in different ways. So when I very first started playing with the tools from Access back in 2011, it was very clear the light and the heavy for me. And over the years, that has changed drastically, where now it is much more the knowing. So you're not wrong, my sweet friends. Nope. You're not wrong. You never have been wrong. It really is knowing your awareness for you and how you read it personally. And these are kind of two different examples, but there's so many different ways that we can read our awareness. Just give yourself a break. Stop judging you. You're not getting it wrong. You didn't fail awareness. Just play with that. And another question that I love to just kind of play with in certain situations is, if I wasn't pretending that I didn't know here, what would I know? Where you're just kind of, shifting it and changing it around, because you do know. Now, if you're a perceiver and you get light and heavy, ask light and heavy questions. Ask yes and no questions around it. But if you are a knower, then just out-manipulate yourself. If I stop pretending that I didn't know right now, what would I know? And then trust you. And that's the piece for everybody. No matter what, whether you're a knower or a perceiver or, I don't know, a giant mushroom. Know for you. Trust you. Trust you. Trust you. You know for you. Even when you pretend that you don't, you know for you. Trust you. So, there's some tools to play with in case you're a knower and didn't know it. Maybe in case you're a knower and you were pretending not to be, you were distracting yourself with the light and heavy and frustrating and making yourself wrong. Yeah. What if awareness could be ease for you? What if you already be infinite awareness and it really is about now just trusting you and honoring what you know or what you perceive or both? Maybe you're an infinite perceiver and a knower and you can play with both. Whatever way works for you. Just know that you know that you know that you know, and you can't get it wrong. So play, have fun, exponentialize what you know. Yeah, have an awesome week, sweet friends, and I look forward to chatting with you next week.